Hello students, welcome to Modern Management Technique class. I am Professor Namrata Hampiholi from Department of Commerce and Accountancy. We are dealing with the fourth unit, that is setting up of a new business enterprise. So in today's class we are going to deal with the business location and the plant layout. Okay, so by the word itself, location means what here, a place where the business activity is being conducted. So here, when the enterprise will get an idea of doing the business, the most important thing is to look after the location, right? So the location should be in such a way that it will ease the entrepreneur, right? So it should be the entrepreneur should find the convenience, or he should be put in the ease when they are selecting the location. The location should be such a way that it is convenient even to the suppliers and even to the customers. Okay, so here that should be in such a way that the entrepreneur will have a easy access to the physical, economic and social endowment. Localization. So here, if a particular industry is concentrated mainly in the one area, then it is called here as a localization, right? For example, here IT/BT companies are concentrated in the Bangalore itself, right? So only the Bangalore is called as a location of IT industry. In such a way, the location which concentrate for the particular product or the services is called here as a localization. So when it typically comes to the business location, selecting of the business locations here, the business location has now changed, right? So now it has, when the service is being provided, it is even the online, sitting at home also you can provide the services, right? So here the location meaning is slightly changed, or it is advanced, you can say, when it comes to the digitalization. Then here, objectives or needs of enterprise location, right? So what are the objectives, or what is the main intention of finding the location here is here to have the balance between the cost of operations, right? That means here, which includes minimize the cost of operation. That means what here, when you shouldn't spend more on the transportation when you are getting a raw materials, right? So that when you are paying more on the transportation of the raw material, then again you have to increase the price of product to cover the transportation cost, right? And here, so that should be minimized here. Then to provide goods services to customers, okay, that is to provide the services to the customer which is in a very convenient manner. Okay, so usually services are provided where there is a that is the location is very suitable. Okay, so then to earn the maximum revenue, right? So by minimizing the cost of a transport or minimizing the costs in the location, the possibility of earning the revenue will increase here. Then to promote the establishment of the new enterprises, right? So here the enterprise which is being set up here, they need to promote. Okay, so the appropriate location, right? So the location of that particular enterprise plays a very important role. For example, if you want to set up a DMart or a shopping complex, you have to set up the complex where there is more necessary, or where there is a more population, wherein the people tend to buy the products, right? If you keep that such type of a shopping complexes which includes the necessary that is a daily requirement out of the city limits, that means that will not attract the customers here, right? So in that case, what will happen, the customers are not ready to travel with that distance to buy a necessary things, right? So that will help you to promote, or that will help you to establish in a market. And to manage the situation arising due to the non-renewal of existing lease of an established enterprise. Then to undertake the expansion, then decentralization and diversification and necessary for meeting the increasing demand of the products. The next is factors influencing the choice of location of an enterprises. That is, what makes you to choose the particular location for your business, right? So now when you look to the PVRs, that is your multiplex right? Cinema theaters, right? Just look, where are they located? They are located where the people will have a sufficient parking facility, right? So they, wherein the people can come with, like they come and they can take a advantage of 2 3 places which are surrounding, okay, wherein they find the leisure time. So such places are taken into the consideration. So the factors which influence the choice is classified into supply factor as well as the demand factor. So here supply factor which include the labor cost, right? So here the labor cost includes what here? Now suppose for example, now your factory is set up within the city limits, okay, or your business enterprise is set up in the local limits, right? So when the employees come within that local limits, obviously their traveling expenses has been reduced here, okay, they need not to bear more of the traveling expenses. In that time they won't demand more salary as the cost of traveling is not covered there. In the same way, if your factory is located outside the city limits, or which is more far than the city limits, and wherein the people have to travel more, okay, then obviously they demand more. Why? Because the laborers have to meet their traveling expenses here, right? If they don't meet that, the company have to bear them, right? So in other way, on the head, on the shoulder of whether the your employees or on the company, the labor cost is, the transportation cost is bad there, right? So when the transportation cost is more, the labor cost will also increases here. Then next comes here land cost, okay. So here sometimes the land will be purchased, but more often it will be rented, right? So with, along with the business building or some of the facilities here, right? So here rental can be very, like it will vary depending on the location. If the location is very prime, the rent will be more, right? If it is not the prime location, then again the rent will be less here, right? So here sometimes the government will grant the incentives, okay, in order to reduce the cost of the land for the business enterprises. Then comes here is energy cost, right? So here energy cost here, it means that like use of the electricity, use of the natural use of the gases, then using some of the natural resources for the enterprises, okay. So here the business uses the substantial amount of energy, right? So in such cases, okay, so that will affect, right, where they get the more natural resources, they will locate the business. Then comes your transportation cost. So as we have discussed, right, transportation cost is a one of the major cost which makes to think you the location of the business. Then community factor includes the cost of business location that can influence by many non-financial factors, okay. Now for example, local amenities and services like schools, professionals, right, and the government towards supporting the businesses, languages, political stability. These are of the few community factors which are a non-economical, okay. They are not economical in nature, that is that they do not include any monetary benefit, but these are the some of the social causes which will influence the business to set up their enterprises in that particular area, okay. Now suppose if you want to open a bar shop, okay, or a wine shop, the location where there is a non-resident, you have to choose there, right? If you are going to open your bar and restaurant in the where there is a resident, or they where the people live, where there is a residential area, then obviously you will not get the permission. So this is a community factors which influence the enterprise to open their business. Then demand factors include customer convenience, right? This is from the customer point of view, right? As per the demand of the customer, the business is being located here, right? Now suppose for example, fast food outlets need to be somewhere which is close to the customers, like the customers footfall here, right? They want as soon as you step back, right? Now for example, in the colleges, you know that we have nearby canteens. So this is as per our convenience. As soon as we step out of the college, we need some food outlet, right? So that in the meantime, where we have a very short break time period, we can quickly go and have it, right? So like this, the factors, the customer convenience is one of the important factors here. Then next is here labor skills, right? So where the specialist skills are required, this here the specialist skills are required here, right? Now for example, here technology firm tend to locate themselves in the areas where there is a well established expertise, right? Then comes here is site suitability. Okay, so for example here, a site may need to have some particular characteristics to maximize a customer satisfaction, right? For example here, luxury hotels or restaurants need to be located somewhere that customers find attractive, right? Not in the middle of a trading exit, right? Now suppose 5-star hotel or 7-star hotel, you know that we have UK 27, we have on Marriott we have, right? Where are they located? They are being located little far from the city limits, especially Marriott, right? So what it means here, that we can go like out of the city limits where you can spend the time easily, where there is a no what you can say restriction or the burden of the work here. Okay, then next comes here is image. Okay, so this is one of the intangible, you can say, this is one of the intangible demand here. Okay, now for example, like walking equipment, a business based in a lake district might enjoy a better perceived reputations, right? So here some of the customers are associate a product with a certain area and prefer to buy from there, right? So this is the image, that is a brand. Then next comes here the expansion potential. So here future production capacity often have to take place into the account, right? That means what here, whenever you're considering the location, you should keep in mind that your business is going to expand further. So keeping that into mind, the demand, the expansion potential is to consider. This was all about plant location. Then next comes here is plant layout. So your plant layout is a plan wherein you have to optimum arrangement of the facility, which includes personnel, that is the human resources, equipment, storage space, material handling, equipment, and all other supporting services, along with the decision of best structure to contain all this facility, right? So in other words, plant layout means what here, gathering all the resources in the optimum form and making them to fit in the best place, so that the end result should be the best one. So this is what the meaning of plant layout. Then the plant layout have the certain principles, which says that principle of minimum movement, right? So here the materials and labor should be moved at the minimum distances, right? So that it will save the cost as well as the time of transportation, and it is very easy for the material handling. Then comes here is principle of space utilization, right? So here whatever is a space available, or even it is a cubic space also, it should be utilized in a proper way. Then the principle of flexibility, then here it states that the layout should be flexible enough to adapt the changes, that is, if any changes are there, that should be adapted easily. Then comes here is interdependence. So interdependent operation and process should be located close proximity to each other in order to minimize the product travel. Alright, so here interdependence means what here, the product shouldn't be, or your any kind of the services or any of the resources shouldn't be depend on the each other. Then principle of overall integration. Here all the plant facilities and services should be fully integrated into a single operation unit to minimize the cost of production. Then comes here a safety. So the principle of safety says that there should be inbuilt provision in a design layout to provide the comfort and safety to the workers working in an enterprises. Then the principle of smooth flow says that the layout should be so designed to reduce the work Okay, bottleneck facilities and uninterrupted flow. There should be very minimum or no interruption in the flow. Then next here comes is principle of economy, right? Economy means what here? The cost should be minimum. And then principle of supervision says that a good layout should facilitate the good supervision over the workers. Then a good layout should boost up the employee so that the employee morale by providing them with the maximum work satisfaction. That is by boosting their morale or motivating them, you can keep the employee satisfied in an organization. Then comes here is types of plant layout. So they are classified into the 4, that is product layout, process layout, and combination layout, and fixed position layout. In the product layout, this is a type of a layout wherein all the machines are arranged in the sequence as they are required to produce a specific product. Okay, so here they are kept, like especially in the manufacturing of certain tangible things, right? They are arranged. Now suppose example, take that like Lay's manufacturing industry, right? What is the raw material for that? Potato, right? So first they are being brought from the farm, then they are being washed, then they are being peeled, then they are being like processed, then the flavors are being added. So this is where the product layout, where they are arranged in the sequence. So the machines are being set in such a way that they function in the sequence. Then next comes is your process layout. In this type of a layout, all the machines performing the similar type of operations are grouped at one location, right? Like suppose for example lathe machine, then milling, right? So these are being clustered one, that is the machines which are being performing a same process or the same thing, or they are producing the similar products, they are being kept at the one place here, right? So that the work will take that is they are being quickly produced, right? And so that they can meet the demand easily. Then next is combination layout. Here a combination is, this is a combination of two basic layout employed to drive the advantage of both the systems of layout. Okay, so here in practice this is rarely, right? This combination is rarely. For example, here the refrigerator manufacturer uses combination layout here. Okay, so like for example for the operations like stamping, welding, right, heat treatment being carried in the different work centers as per the requirement. So here different products, that is different combination of products are taken place here. Okay, so they here combine the different work and they get the done one product. Then comes here is fixed position layout. It is also called as a stationary layout. In this type of layout, men, material and machines are brought to a product that remain in the one place owing to its size. Now for example, ship building, then aircraft manufacturing, right, heavy construction of dams, bridges, building, etc. These are wherein these men, machine and materials are brought together and they will be at a one place until the work is being completed. So this was all about type of the plant layout, and with this we complete with our 4th unit of setting up of the business enterprises. In next class we'll be starting with our 5th unit and the last unit, that is office management. I hope you are clear with the concept. Thank you.